UCLA PD responded to a report of 3 shots fired. We don't know if there were more than that, but at least 3.
The meeting was supposed to end at 10, so maybe around 9:45. Half of us started getting Bruin alerts on our cell phones about some kind of police activity.
We're going to bring that picture back as soon as we can, but as we saw, there are SWAT officers, guns drawn, in the full gear. They are moving into some general area. Not sure if they're about to go inside a building or where they're going, but that's the first high level of activity that we've seen so far.
Our signal is coming in and out as we work to get this more information on active shooter situations.
These are pictures coming from the scene when there's a chopper flying overhead. We're keeping a very, very close watch on this. Some of the tweets coming from UCLA officials. LAPD is responding to reports of 2 victims down and an active shooter in or near the engineering building. That, according to an LAPD officer.
There is a confirmation from police of 2 victims in this. Again, John, we are not aware at this point. We cannot confirm the condition of those 2 victims. But
around 10 a.m., the Southern California school was placed on lockdown after a male in his 20s opened fire in the engineering building on campus. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, hundreds of officers responded within minutes of the initial report.
Helicopter news footage was able to capture the image of students walking out in a line with their hands on their heads.
A surreal sight. UCLA students and staff, dozens of them with their hands in the air as the SWAT team led them out of the lockdown building on campus.
We seem to...
By the time these students were evacuated, they were told the shooter was dead in the building next door. The fear and concern was still visible on their faces as police patted them down before leading them off campus.
They're just doing their jobs. Yeah. They're keeping us safe, telling you to do.
In the beginning, students say they were afraid to even move. Everybody was like, some sent texts and made phone calls to their family back home.
I actually told them, I was like, if I die, I love you guys. Because I didn't know what was happening.
What to do?
It's a situation these students never expected to find themselves in.
I'm glad to come out of it safe and sound, and all of us, come out of it safe and sound, and hope to never really experience that again.
Guys, we got a lot of people coming out with their arms up. A lot of people coming out with their arms up. You want to get the camera on this, folks. Hey, you in the studio, you got a lot of folks that are on their knees. You need to get the camera. You need to get this live. Can you hear me in the studio? You need it. Are you showing this live, folks? Okay.
We believe there are no suspects outstanding and no continuing threat to UCLA's campus. We're in the process of...
They're very forthcoming. When they have it, they give it to you on most occasions. And now we see people coming up with their hands over their head. And Trace, normally this means these people have been cleared. And this is
Right.
We've seen this since Columbine High School. When there's a shooting in a school, this is how you come out.
50 others.
Currently, we have all the lights off, our windows are blocked, we had a crowbar on the door.
Come some more kids out. Hey, the coroner just showed up. Victor, the coroner just showed up. You guys copy? Victor, you hear me? Victor, I've been told a handgun was found. Got you guys. Okay. All right, thanks. Got you guys. Hey guys, they may have some witnesses here. Victor, you seeing this? Victor, you seeing this?
Class, which is in a place called Bolter, which is right next to the engineering building, and said like shooter, and then we just bolted out of there, and ran up to the 7th floor of one of the buildings, and then hid in the bathroom for like an hour and a half, and we tied the bathroom hinges, the door hinges, with belts, to keep the door closed because there's no locks.
Police helicopters are now covering the skies over the Los Angeles.
Who the shooter is, and these are live pics. Trace Gallagher, are you watching this? That's just a search, right?
We are watching this, Shep, and yeah, just a search. This is standard. I mean, that's anything. Remember, the initial description that went out was a white male who was 6 feet tall. So.
We believe there are no suspects outstanding and no continuing threat to UCLA's campus.
It seemed a bit like surreal, and mostly I was just hoping that he wouldn't come into our building.
And as you look at that video, I want to bring in now the ASB president, Danny Siegel. You were in a different building. You were watching all of this unfold on the news. Can you tell me, especially as someone who's leading the student government here, how were you all feeling?
I mean, it was a feeling of surreal, just like watching the footage that you're talking about, seeing students that halls that we'd walk by every day for class and seeing police walk by with assault rifles and seeing students lined up and being frisked. It was a feeling of surreal. And then
it's hard to even fathom it, to have your excuse me, to have your son grow up without a dad is rough. So I'm hoping that the community here could kind of rally around that.
Alfredo Rivera received the notification.
At that time, it was just anger, and because you feel helpless, you kind of just wish you had a gun. But that changes, like after all that, I felt like, there's really no place you can really be safe.
The second-year master's student wasn't unfamiliar to these types of alerts, having survived a school shooting only 3 years previous at Santa Monica College.
So you're telling your mom you're okay?
Yeah, she's on my phone. She's not in town. Yeah, she's in Egypt.
PhD student Salma El Malik.
Apparently, she saw the guy in Boulter. She was getting coffee, and she saw the guy, and she just ran. She saw a bunch of people running, and she saw the guy, and she was so scared for her life or something, and then she just ran.
A tweet from the UCLA newsroom was sent out to students issuing a campus-wide lockdown just after 10 a.m. as police investigated the shooting in an engineering lab. Students were urged to go to a secure location and deny entry immediately as LAPD and SWAT teams searched for the gunman, who was reportedly a white male wearing a black jacket and black pants. Students were evacuated building by building as tactical units swarmed the campus searching for the gunman. The LAPD has since released a statement explaining, at approximately 10 a.m. this morning, Los Angeles police officers responded to multiple calls of shots fired on the UCLA campus.